Physical therapy works, but not always in the way people expect it to. And one of the most common frustrations I get is that, hey, I did everything I was supposed to do, but I still didn't get any better. I still can't do fill in the blank. And on the patient side, that gets frustrating because it feels like they did everything and they look at me like I didn't help them the right way. But in my experience, what usually means is that the PT didn't fail. It means that something very specific got missed in the process. And it's not usually the exercise. The missing piece is almost always how we build capacity over time. And it's rehab isn't just about what you're going to do, it's about how your body adapts to what you do. And that adaptation depends heavily on one thing. We call it dosage. In physical therapy, dosage is one of the most important but least talked about skills. Too little stress, the body doesn't adapt. Too much stress, and everything gets irritated. So the goal isn't just a specific exercise, it's applying the right amount of stress consistently over time to build capacity. So a simple way to understand this is I compare sprinters and marathon runners. They both do running, but they don't train the same way. The sprinter develops power, they got real big muscles, they can do short bursts of exercise and energy. The marathon runner develops endurance, more for efficiency, long-term duration. So it's the same general activity, same exercise, but completely different adaptations. You wouldn't expect a sprinter to go run a marathon, and you certainly wouldn't ask a marathon runner to perform like a sprinter. And that's because their adaptations are very specific to the stress they've been given over time. And in rehab, we try to work it the same way. So your body is going to adapt to whatever stress you consistently place upon it, not just the exercise itself. So where a lot of people run into problems is they're doing something, but it's not giving them the adaptation they're actually looking for. Most people don't fail at rehab because they didn't do enough. They fail because what they did didn't match what their body actually needed. So a lot of times I tell people your body can handle about a 10% increase at any given time. So in the gym, it's just simple math. If you did 10 reps, now you can do 11. If you carried 30 pounds, now you can carry 33 pounds. But real life doesn't work like that. Most people sit at a desk all week lifting a coffee mug, and now they expect to do yard work and carry 30-pound bags of mulch 10, 15 times from their car. That's not 10% increase. That's a massive jump in load, and the body's not prepared for that, so it reacts. And that's just mechanics. There's a whole nother layer that matters just as much, and that's the nervous system and how it responds to dosage. See, every movement has to get filtered through the nervous system first. So before the body's muscles and joints and ligaments can even respond physically, it needs to respond in terms of safety, threat, and tolerance. That's why two people can do the same exercise and have a completely different outcome. Their nervous system is constantly deciding if this is safe or harm. And if it's harm, it has to respond differently than if it's safe. Also, if it's safe, it has to decide whether or not you're going to keep doing this or if it's a one-time event. Dosage can either calm the system or it can keep it reactive. And it can either decide that it's a one-time event, in which case just deal with it, or is it going to happen over time, in which case now it's worth the body's efforts to make adaptations. Again, the body takes a lot of energy to make an adaptation, so it has to decide whether or not it's worth that energy expenditure. So we're not just strengthening something, we're creating a system that's going to respond to what you're doing to it. And in the clinic, this is why people improve very early. They heal, they get better, and then their progress slows down or stops. And at that point, they think, I gotta do something different. I'm doing something wrong. No, that's not the program. It's not the exercise. It's how you're progressively loading over time. And it needs constant attention and testing to see if it's being dosed correctly. So if physical therapy doesn't seem to work or it plateaus at some point, it's not often the exercise's fault. It's not often the PT's fault. And it's not even your fault. You're doing the right activities, but you have a mismatch between the stress applied and what the system could actually adapt to. So the body is always going to adapt, but the adaptation is dose specific. So if that doesn't match your life or your current capacity, you don't get the results you're expecting. That's what we're going to keep building on in this video series.